Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. I'm Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the executive minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ+ community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ+ community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. We are available on all smart televisions and your favorite social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Queer faith reaction to Beyonce, Yaya and God, the Bible, race, guns, and the vote. That's a lot. The lyrics of Beyonce's new album, Yaya, resonate. I think that's the song on the album. What's the album? It's Cowboy something.
Cowboy Carter.
Cowboy Carter. The album is Cowboy Carter, yes. But her song, Yaya, on the album, we resonate deeply with that, a lot of us queer individuals anyway, because we are navigating intersections of identity and we face the unique challenges in society, and she seems to address these things in this song. In particular, the song's references to economic disparity, gun violence, and the erosion of trust in traditional institutions prompt reflection on the broader socio-political landscape. Queer individuals, often marginalized within religious spaces, can find solace in Beyonce's call to keep the faith amidst adversity. The song also delves into politics within the context of contemporary American life. The lyrics of Yaya reflect a nuanced portrayal of political realities addressing issues like racial injustice and the erosion of trust in institutions. Beyonce's reference to working time and a half for half the pay and the struggle of hardworking men without financial security resonates with many queer individuals who also face systemic discrimination. Her whole lot of red and that white and blue reminds us of the threat to liberal and progressive views and values. Beyonce's call to keep my Bible on the dash and pray that he don't crash suggests a desire for spiritual guidance and protection amidst the uncertainty of political turmoil. The song serves as a catalyst for critical reflection on the interconnectedness of personal experiences, societal challenges, and political engagement in today's America. Well, first of all, Cowboy Carter is a beautiful album. It's a big one, a lot of tracks, but she covers so many things. But if you haven't heard it, you need to. You can hear the tracks online, and then of course you can download. If you've not heard it, you really need to. Beyonce packs a lot into Yaya. So much, just get comfortable because we're going to go through it. It begins with notes from Nancy Sinatra's "These Boots Were Made for Walking."
Yes.
Pim, 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 pim. That's how it starts. And you can't think of that song without thinking of the line, "One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you." Beyonce doesn't sing the lyric, and yet it's with you from the start. If you know the song.
If you're old.
If you're old. But by dropping the Easter egg from the start, our subconscious minds are already looking for where this might go. Still near the very top of the song, she welcomes the listener to a rodeo chitlin circuit. Now, for those who are much younger than me or who aren't familiar with American theater history, when our country was legally segregated, black performers usually had to perform in black performance spaces, and those theaters were called the Chitlin Circuit.
Yes.
A few of those old circuit theaters are still around and still feature African American cast and subject matter. So to mention the Chitlin Circuit is to throw in our faces a reminder of Jim Crow. But it's not just a Chitlin Circuit, it's a rodeo Chitlin Circuit. Now there is the Jim Pickett Invitational Rodeo, which is the only black rodeo that travels the world. But I don't think she's giving them a nod. I think it's more challenging. I think she is intentionally inviting us to consider the tension that still exists between traditionally black spaces and traditionally white spaces in this supposedly post-segregation age. All of this is before the first verse. And it's in that first verse where she says, there's a whole lot of red in that white and blue. And then she explains, history can't be erased. Lynchings, segregation, gutting the Voting Rights Act, laws preventing white people and black people from marrying one another, excessive anti-black violence in law enforcement. There are real efforts to whitewash that history when we'd be better served by making amends for it. Beyoncé reminds us, it can't be erased. The almost ridiculous word picture of carrying a Bible and a gun, both as means of protection somehow, is jarring. But one can easily see why one would hope for divine intervention while being prepared to defend oneself. The old proverb tells us, trust Allah, but tether your camel. And it can't help but remind us that there's an entire political movement now waving Bibles and guns as if they are two sides of the same coin. Those are often racist and white nationalist. And here's a strong, influential black woman taking their idols for her own artistic vision. She takes a swipe at unregulated capitalism, mentioning someone who loses their home to fire, but the insurance company won't pay. She also lifts up people who work very hard, but the way the system is designed, their hard work isn't enough to provide them security. But still, we dare not give up hope. We won't, if we don't work for change, then we'll lose hope. And we won't get the change if we don't work for it. So she exhorts us, keep the faith. If we lose the hope, we won't work for it, for the change. If we don't work for the change, we won't generate the hope. And so we've got to keep the faith. And in addition to that, not only keeping the faith, keeping hope alive, but then put it into action. She says, vote! Big old letters on the screen. Vote! And please, vote. On top of all this, the song is sexy. The last third of the song is just sex. And I think that resonates with marginalized people. Oppressors keep power by trying to control bodies, minds, and joy. If they can scare you out of asking questions, convince you that your body is bad or not your own, and that you don't deserve joy and shouldn't have access to it, then they can keep you down or out. Beyoncé shows that owning your sexuality and celebrating it is not just personally fulfilling, but it is a subversive political act. By celebrating or enacting or suggesting fucking and that it's a good thing, it's kind of giving a fuck you to oppressive systems. The song is genius. The album is genius. The artist is genius.
Yes. This is what positive privilege can do for you. Beyonce is in a position where she can say a lot of things that a whole lot of people can't say. You can't hurt Beyonce at this point. She is insulated from any of the negative attacks that might hurt her financially. She ain't worried about that no more. So, and a lot of people are talking about this as being a crossover album for her venturing into the land of country and western. Okay, there are a lot of songs on there that might be that, and there's also a cover of a Beatles song on that album. So she's covering the whole gamut of possibilities. And talking about country and western and whether or not black folk have ever been involved in it, there's Charlie Pride from way back when, and Tracy Chapman, just last year, received an award for her song Fast Cars, which is now acknowledged as a country song. So the doors are still opening. The things are beginning to change. And
She's a lesbian.
Yeah, she is.
And she is
Yeah,
family.
lesbian. Yep.
So a lot of stuff is going on with this album, and you need a powerhouse like Beyonce to be able to bring it to the world and bring it to the fore. And Queen Bee, home run.
You know, not every song is worthy of exegesis.
Yeah, this one,
And
wow.
this one is.
Wow, I've never seen a song taken apart like that in this kind of an environment. I'm sure it's been done different ways, but my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you actually hit it right on the head there. When this first came out and I was starting to see a lot of what Beyonce was doing, I thought, I've not heard of this. I need to educate myself. And so I went online and I found it. And I watched it and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then I watched it again. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I need to do an exegesis, not just on this one song, but on the entire album, because there's obviously a lot of great things that are coming out. She's got stuff to preach. She's got stuff to tell. I want to know what that is.
You know, whenever I was posting on Facebook, I'm waiting up to midnight because it dropped at midnight on a certain day.
Okay.
And I don't know what the heck this is even about. And I saw the comments, the next one, I said to midnight and it dropped, and that was difficult. It didn't deliver, or it did deliver. There was more did deliver than there was did not deliver. And then I went online today and I looked up the lyrics to the song because I want to read it. I could hear it, but I want to read it. It's like, good Lord, this will preach.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely. She is calling out. She is leaving no stones unturned anywhere. And I love that analogy about there's a lot of red out there, because that's where a lot of harm has been doing. And I think she's opening the pathway through music, through her talent, through her gifts, everything she has to say. We can talk about this still, y'all. And sometimes, like Big Mama used to say, when you can't use words, sometimes you have to sing about it.
Yep.
And I think she is singing an answered prayer to so many people.
Oh, yeah.
And bringing some hope to a hurt and healing world, if not nation, right now.
Yeah.
And did you know that there are some country and western stations that refuse to play the song?
No.
I
For real?
didn't know that.
You didn't know?
I didn't
That's
know that.
part of the
No.
controversy.
That's part of the controversy.
That is sort of the racist pushback.
Yeah.
Is that there are radio stations refusing to play the songs.
Is this the 1950s?
Well, they want it to
some
be. A
of
lot of people want it to
Yeah,
be.
a lot of people want.
How about
yeah,
that? There's the problem.
Yeah.
Vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's she tackles so many subjects in one song.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard songs, about AIDS or about, domestic violence. And that's the thing, the song.
Yeah.
She throws everything in this. And then there's the other great songs, too. And she shows why. She shows why artists are not properly funded. They're not resourced.
Yeah.
They're often denigrated. Do you remember, and this was just the last couple of years, when we were talking about, they were trying to dismantle education by not letting there be diversity, by attacking diversity, by attacking even courses about diversity and history, trying to whitewash the history.
Yep. Yeah.
But then also saying that we need, plumbers. Well, of course we need plumbers. But then, honestly saying that things like arts degrees and philosophy degrees are useless. No, I believe the Greek philosophers are how we got to democratia, democracy. Hello. But by trying to denigrate intellectuals and artists, that's a power play. That's a power play.
Sure.
Because
I like that.
you see that artists can be very powerful and very difficult to silence.
Right.
So that's why the attack on the arts. Yes, God bless the plumbers and the mechanics and the roofers and the builders
Yes,
and the
those in the
and the
trades,
engineers,
yes.
and because we need those things, and I can't do any of them. And we need music, and we need theater, and we need dance, and we need philosophy, and we need life has a lot of parts to it. And any one part, if we just had all people singing songs and playing the flute and playing and playing the harp, we'd have a lot of bad plumbing and a lot of terrible houses and a lot of unsafe cars. And also, but if you also only have what you can do with your hands and you don't engage your mind, then you have a lot of closed-minded, fearful, angry. We need it all. We need it all. And she shows you how powerful artists can be, and why they're often the first to be attacked by those who have nefarious plans.
Control the message. Yeah.
Well, that's that.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.